Check out my brand new base, the War Turtle. This base includes an unraidable bunker, an emergency exit, loot scoop, hidden sub bay, a shooting floor, and 4 bedrooms. This base is going to be super meta, and you're going to want to check it out. Let's dive in. As you can see, this base has claws on the outside that funnels into a empty floor. You can pick up loot bags as you're going through the sea just by driving over them, and it'll suck it into your base. You also are going to have shooting windows here. You can throw windows on them if you want. You don't have to. It's up to you. This is also going to function as your starter base right here. So this is where the wheel will be for the very beginning. You can, again, have windows, no windows. There's your anchor. You can fish through there as well, but we're going to jump into the main feature of the base, the bunker. So with boat bases, you cannot break the walls. You can just break the boat's health and it'll sink. You can break doors, but with this base, you can only get in to this hidden loot room by using the doors to push you through. So I have the engines here. You can have like a bedroom, all your main loot, your tier 3, however you want to set it up, and you have to use the doors to push you over that railing. Impossible to raid it. They're going to have to wait until the boat despawns at the bottom of the ocean. It gives you a lot of time to get some counterplay. Use a triangle hatch to go upstairs. Here's a bedroom. I don't have all the beds or all the furnishings in. You can kind of make it your own as you go. I would also add probably one more door right behind me right there. But then there is an airlock, and this is where I move the steering wheel to. Again, windows, no windows. That's up to you on how you want to play it. I prefer windows there. But yeah, that is the cockpit. I would put a door right here, is what I was saying. But for the tour, I didn't want to do that. We have a shooting floor here. This whole floor is very open. This is the door cannon method. I'm just showing different methods of what you can put here. For my actual base, I actually prefer no cannons, but as the meta evolves, as I learn the patch a bit, I might change my mind. I use stairs here just to get different angles. And then this is the other side. This is the ladder hatch method for the cannon, where it kind of prevents people from coming in, and you can close it and then jump out yourself. So those are the 2 cannon methods that I know of. I still prefer the staircase, even on the side shooting floor. But that is not it. We also have entrance to the roof, but first I'm going to show you the sub bay. So you go through a triangle hatch, and then this is it will hold a submarine, and the boat will actually push it as you go. So you'll permanently have your submarine with you. You have a bedroom there as well. And I also threw a chair in for fishing. But you can also dive through that water and get outside of the boat as well if you need to. So it's just another exit and entrance if you really want it to be. Let's go to the top. The top is pretty basic. Just have some sails up here for some movement. But this is a mostly engine base, to be honest. These you can actually shoot through. So if you have people that are lower than you or a boat that's lower than you, you can use it for a shooting floor, but, you know, unlikely. This is actually where the bunker aspect is. I block it with the vertical embrasures, but here is an emergency chute. So when you're creating the bunker, the way that you create it, it leaves a gap. So you actually do get an emergency chute from the top. You could actually make it through from the 2nd level as well, but I block it for the 2nd level. Thinking back on it, I probably will be actually adding a access to it from the 2nd level as well, just as an emergency out. Let's dive into the build. So I start with 3 squares, 2 triangles, followed by, 5 triangles. This is going to be the starter. Just put walls up. We're making that little claw loot catcher that we were looking at earlier. Let's throw some windows. I shouldn't have broken that yet, but it's fine. So yeah, just door, wall, and we're not gonna actually end up using that at all. So we just put a door there because it will be a future door, keeps us somewhat safe, And then we have a door here. One of these triangles I'm not going to actually place. You can kind of decide on how you want to do a jump up. It doesn't have to be the same triangle, but one of those I do end up deleting for the triangle hatch. So when I plan on doing the starter, I always want to have a ladder hatch, a triangle hatch ready. So you get that down, you put the window down first, then I put the triangle too soon. We got to put the window up. Just put on the ceiling real quick. And as you see, I'm going to have to break this triangle really quick because that's not done. You could keep it open if you wanted to. Actually, no, you can't. You need the floor. So put the wheel down. I'm going to end up putting a window in just so people can't jump in. Just like that. I actually use embrasures, but you can use windows, whatever you want to do. Go ahead and throw it over here too. And we're going to throw a door down. Doesn't really matter. And you can put the wheel on the other side if you want. It doesn't matter there either. But okay, let's put the square back first. Got to put a wall up, then you demolish, then you put the triangle down. Triangle is an optional, by the way. You don't have to have the triangle. I choose it just so it's easier to walk from door to door for the early game for the starter base. All right. And this is the starter. Again, you can kind of alter it if you wanted a little bit, but or you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. Honestly, you could actually function it this way right here by putting that down and just keep 1/2 of the starter base. So it's only a triangle, square, 2 triangles, and then that could be your whole base for the starter if you really wanted. You can also put a doorway here just to make the starter smaller. Just showing you options. So there's a lot of flexibility for this for the early game. Again, you won't have the bunker yet, but and you could go full build if you wanted to have it done, but I think it's safer to have it set up as a starter first. All right, that is just a quick overview of the starter, and let's dive into the next steps. So we're going to open the doors here. And finally, the door that goes to outside. We do want to keep that triangle section open because this is how we build the bunker. One more triangle. We're going to get a square. And just to kind of visualize it here, I want to mirror match to make it symmetrical, but you want to be able to count to 7. So it's 7 triangles wide. That's the way that it just helps me keep it organized. But we are going to be building an empty section that is 1 square and 1 triangle. So again, we're going to have 7. It's going to be 4 squares worth of space, but there's going to be an empty square here. We're going to put triangles in instead. And this is what creates the bunker right here. You put those little walls down. You put a window down with an embrasure. That's very important because if not, they can squeeze through and get into your bunker for free. We don't want that. So you just go ahead and throw up full walls. Again, they can't break the walls, so no doors, no windows means they aren't getting in. Just seal it off. Now, the next part of sealing it off actually is a little bit tricky, and there's some decisions to be made here. Make sure you're facing the walls outward to where that little chute is so they don't get any soft sides. So you do want to put the triangle right on it and then connected to that one. There is going to be some gap to it, but that's the safest gap there is because you can block it with a window and embrasure, as you can see here. See, they can't get in. Now, it's going to get even tighter when you build your second floor. It's going to make it even harder to get in. But for the beginning, that's how you do it. And then the chute still works. We want to make sure that the bunker works before we can't demolish anything, so make sure you test it. The doors are the right way. You want that door to be facing... just make sure that these doors are facing this direction. And make sure that it works before you lose your demolish timer, because editing a base for a boat afterwards is borderline impossible when it comes to like walls and stuff. Now it's time to build the second story. Let's dive in. All right, so I start here with actually finishing the back of the boat. So we do want to make sure we can create that bay. To create the bay, we're putting one triangle down on each side. And then we put 2 triangles in just to be able to put squares down. Then we break these 2 triangles, and that's our submarine bay. Throw up the walls real quick. Not that one. There we go. And you can either put... Well, I guess I'm going to do the ceilings first. But you can either put a window or a wall here. I think wall's better. But window if you want to like check it before, you know, in case you're getting camped or something. Because there is going to be a bedroom here. Okay, just throw a ceiling on real quick. Just going to be triangles. We do want to keep this one open. This is going to be a ladder hatch up. I have it facing the way that it is. That way it's basically an airlock. See, as you can see, you can't get through. And then you just throw a door on there and it's kind of a double door airlock. Now we're back on top. We're going to make the cockpit real quick. Pretty simple. You just make a circle. Again, the overhang, I'm not too worried about. We'll see as the meta goes along, but I don't think the overhang is going to be a big deal. Throw walls down. Oops, wrong direction. There we go. Okay, and then we just make a quick airlock here. For airlock, you just make sure they're opening the same direction into each other. Throw a ceiling on, and then you move your wheel up. So my wheel was down at the bottom right. We just pick it up when it's in edit mode. And you come up and slap it in the middle. Like so. Throw some windows on. Embrasures, whatever you want, or both. Both if you want protection. Honestly, if you're going to put windows on, you might as well put embrasures too. I think that's my recommended. Okay. Now you have a second story. I mean, this alone kind of works. Like, it's not huge. It's not, you know, whatever. But this is a good, like, second stage, I would say. And then what I'm building now is probably stage 3. Here's a quick bedroom. So if you want to skip a shooting floor, you could easily just do this and have a huge loot base and just kind of go and try to farm quietly, get through like with your submarine, go hit underwater labs or whatever you want to do, and just keep your base kind of basic. But if you want to fight at all or clear from your boat, this is how I would do it. Now I'm gonna build my version of what I like the most. Right now I haven't used cannons a ton, so I might end up changing out these windows for cannon slots, and it's no big deal. But I'm going to be using this as a shooting floor, and I'm also going to be falling into the water, apparently. No big deal. Yeah, just be careful of that when you're building it. It actually is pretty annoying to get out of there in a real wipe. All right, I'm just going to build a little jump up for the roof, just like that. Throw another triangle hatch there, and have another airlock again. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna do stairs again. Like I said, I like just the shooting floor. I'm not really necessarily trying to do boat versus boat battles, but that might change as we go. And the thing here is this floor is so wide open that it's very flexible. You can do whatever you want with this whole floor. I'm also going to be making a video about all of the different design tricks that you can do with boats. So kind of like showing off the bunker that I have here, or the sub section, or the loot thing that I have here. But also there's some other tricks that I know about boats I just didn't include in this design. So if you are loving this update or want to build a better boat, Make sure to like and subscribe. I hope to be putting out a lot more Rust stuff. So we're getting through like the basic, just add up the floors here. And then it gets tricky again because we're getting to the part where it's covering the bunker. You're gonna put a wall on this left side. Bear with me, I built it wrong the first time here, but we're going to walk through it. So as you can see, there's those holes here. We have to be correct with what we place first. So we're gonna place a wall. We run around to the other side. This is not supposed to be a wall. It's supposed to be a window. We put a vertical embrasure on it. Make sure it's facing the direction that I have it facing because it makes the gap smaller. You can put you can't put a wall here, but you can put either a door or a window on that side. On this side, you definitely want to put a window. You're going to put an embrasure again. Again, here, can't put a wall. You pick. Window, door, doesn't matter. You don't have to put an embrasure on this one. This is just to tighten the gap. And then you want to put a wall, and you want to make sure it's facing the way that I have it facing there too. You put a triangle directly over that triangle, and then you do this triangle here, and the gaps are now fully closed off. They can't get to your second floor from the roof unless they go through doors or windows. Vertical, horizontal embrasure, either way is fine. I mean, preference, I guess. I think vertical is probably better because I think a lot of these boat fights are going to be pretty up and down. Then you have your ladder hatch up, and we're just going to quickly build the roof. There's not much to the roof, and there's a lot of room for flexibility here as well. So if you want cannons up here, you could put a ton of cannons on the top. No big deal. Can't build that one first. You actually have to build this first. I think that it's just nice to have those there as a kind of a safety net so you don't accidentally walk in to like the emergency chute. And I'm not putting these on every outer edge. You know, I don't think you need it. I'm just putting it where I anticipate the most fights here. I've also considered putting up fireworks on the roof. In case you start to go down, you can like kind of tell people like, hey, boat sinking here, and see how chaotic it gets, because we have a bunker, right? That means people are gonna have to wait for the despawn to get into our loot room, unless they get tricky. There's another way in. I'm not gonna say it on the video. There's one other way in, but it's very tricky. So if you have fireworks and are able to get them off, I mean, you could really cause a lot of chaos. But yeah, that is the base here. And real quick, we're gonna fly around it. Put the arms on. I honestly think you should put the arms on. I mean, it's cosmetic. I think I'm gonna put them on the starter. It's cosmetic, but tell me that doesn't look like a turtle, kind of. I mean, we can't have. If we had one more layer, I'd make it extra thick and make a shell on top because I just think it'd be super cool. But the arms are great. It helps you grab the loot bags as you're driving through the ocean, and there are going to be a lot of ocean fights from now on. I think you're going to see a ton of bags. Anyway, this is the War Turtle, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how it goes in your wipes, and let me know what you would change.